You're not skipping workouts because you're lazy. You're skipping them because you think that anything that is perfect is just isn't worth it. But that's why, and it's killing your progress. You either go hard or go home. This phrase has done more harm to the public health sector than laziness ever did. Because the truth is, a little doesn't use us. In words of biology, a little actually can mean everything. But still is open. In media, we often see this picture. Fitness only matters if it's extreme. And if you're training 5 days a week, checking macros or optimizing your sleep and creatine uptake, you're just simply wasting your time. Like, that's nonsense. Biologically, the difference between 0 and something is much greater than the difference between something and everything. Let me explain. If you do one proper strength session a week, your neuromuscular function, metabolic markers, and health span outperform 90% of sedentary people. And it's not a motivation speak. That's physiology. A 2019 meta-analysis in British Journal of Sports and Medicine have found that even one resistant training session per week was associated with 23% drop in all-cause mortality in sedentary people. Another study from McMaster University have found that all-volume training has significantly improved insulin sensitivity, VO2 max, and the percent of lean muscle mass in previously inactive adults. And the Journal of Biopsychology reports that even with the small and short training sessions, your neuromuscular function is going up significantly, meaning that your body is simply easier on the way to recruit and coordinate your muscle fibers, even with a small effort from your side. So why doesn't anyone talk about this? Because fitness culture doesn't really sell something rational. It sells muscle measure, shame, grind, and this dopamine chasing transformations. And the reason is we didn't evolve in gyms, and we evolved starting solving physical problems like holding meat, moving rocks, and sprinting when needed. We didn't really need to work out, but we adapted, and biology rewards stimulus, not excess. When you apply stress, your system responds, and that's how every meaningful adaptation works. It's not just muscle, but all the way the endocrine recalibration, joint stabilization, and tendon reinforcement, and even neurogenesis. That's right, resistance training increases BDNF, the brain-derived neurotropic factor. It's like a miracle pill for your hippocampus. It boosts learning, mood regulation, and long-term memory. So no, you're not really lifting for the mirror. You're lifting for yourself and even for your brain. And people avoid training not out of laziness, but due to perceived effort. And perceived effort is a neuroeconomic calculation when your brain runs it based on prior fatigue, dopamine state, and the expected reward. Due to a study in 2009 by Marcora and Pierce, showed that it's mental fatigue, not physical fatigue, would actually limit your physical performance. The central nervous system, CNS, limits effort when you're mentally tired, even if your muscles are still fresh. Research in Frontiers in Psychology shows that what you actually perceive as effort is just a neuroeconomical calculation. So that's your brain waiting out the prior fatigue, dopamine state, and the prospective reward, and then decided how hard something feels for you. To age plainly, that's your brain who taps out before your body does. Every time. So what feels like a lack of motivation is often just as miscalibrated cost-benefit ratio. Lower the cost, shorten the workout, make it absurdly achievable. Just a couple of sets, just a couple of exercises, just one signal. Even if you don't have time for a full workout, it can be enough. Why? Because the body doesn't count volume, it counts signals. And the algorithmic sabotage of Instagram and TikTok has previously required people to believe that unless you're hitting PRs or shredding, your workout didn't count. And that's not fitness, that's a simply dopaminergic bait and switch. So we see that social platforms reward this spectacle and not real biology. They try to shift the internal narrative from growth to comparison to others, from stimulus to feeling like you're ashamed. And it's designed to burn you out and make you watch more content and compare yourself more to others. But what's doing this is actually a system. So with the recruitment of your motor unit, the change and sensitivity of your CNS signal rate, your myofibrillary density that changes with every single workout, adding more mitochondria into your own cells like your powerhouses, the health of your tendons and ligaments, and the reconditioning that goes up with the optimized isometric workouts and the hormonal priming, and you can achieve it all with consistency, not a made-up intensity. For example, the Novak Djokovic, a famous tennisist, doesn't really train like a bodybuilder, but he's a real biomechanical genius with a high skill density, the elastic strength, and minimal fatigue cost. For him, efficiency is power. Compare that to the average younger crippled by 6-day hypertrophy splits and progressive overload dogma. So some people are actually programming other people for injury, not a sport longevity. So your goal isn't really to train hard, it's to train sustainably. And your own body adapts to stimulus frequency and not quality. Think of your workouts like about brushing your teeth. You don't avoid it just because you don't have 3 minutes. You simply do something. So that's the game. And one single session per week can change your blood markers. One set technical failure can trigger protein synthesis. And one signal tells your central nervous system, you still use the machine. Don't throw it out. Don't let the perfection kill this process. Don't let the algorithm to hijack your own biology. So no, you don't always need to go hard. Sometimes you just have to go because your body isn't always waiting for your best. Sometimes it's just awaiting some kind of stimulus that will work it out. The difference between nothing and something is the difference between decay and adaptation. Every session and rep matters. And it's a declaration that you're still in the game. Your choice. Subscribe for more scientific and bodybuilding content. I always have something to surprise you.